Hello, today is the start of the last week of my time at work. So, as I mentioned before, I've been working for just over 5 years at the same company, and unfortunately, that is coming to an end at the end of this week. Interestingly enough, this time last year, I was in a similar position. The client I'd been working for 4 years was moving their they were trying to move to a company in India to save money, and so I was without a project back then, and my company was saying to me, "Don't worry, it's fine. We'll find you something else to do." This year, I'm going to be without a company, so it's a bit different. The client I was working for wanted all of the team to be located in England, and then my company was saying, we don't have any more work for you. Well, any more work suitable for you, suitable for someone who's on a different time zone. So that is the end of that. It's a bit of a weird thing to be going into this last week, because not really much has changed, to be honest. I'm just doing the job as I would normally do it. And so at the moment, it's sort of hard to believe that it's going to be coming to an end. I suppose it has changed a bit, because the amount of work that that's available for me to do is just becoming less and less and less. I mean, obviously, when you get towards the end of something, you don't want to be get towards the end of your time at work, you don't want to be taking on new big projects that you're not going to be able to finish, and you'll just sort of leave half done for someone else to pick up. So yes, the amount of work that I've got left is decreasing a lot. So last week, I found myself not really having a lot to do, and on some days, just not really having anything to do. So what I ended up doing was just stopping working during the day, and then I just decided to work a bit later so that there'd be more time for me to spend with the person who's going to be taking over my job. And I thought maybe I could make myself useful in that way, so there's more, because there's a time zone difference. If I just work later, there's more overlapping time for us, so there's more opportunity for this person to ask me any questions they might have. But yeah, this week I'm imagining there'll probably be more of that, so I'll be struggling to find something to do again, most likely. But yeah, apart from the decrease in the amount of work that I'm being given, it sort of feels like it's business as usual, really. And I'm not even going to be working the full week, because this Friday is it's a national holiday in England, in the UK, known as Good Friday. So it's the start of the Easter weekend, and there's normally the Friday off, obviously the weekend off, and the Monday off as well. So a nice long weekend break. So yes, I'm only working until the Thursday this week, so it's a short week anyway. But like I say, it's going to be so weird. It really is, because I'm going into absolutely nothing. I'm going from a full 8-hour work day, 5 days a week, to nothing at all. And obviously, I'm going to be looking for jobs. And I'm also going to be trying to work on my own projects for something to do. I don't want to just sit around doing nothing. I don't like doing that, and I've got loads of stuff that I'd love to be getting on with. And catching up with the podcast, obviously. I'll have plenty of time for that, getting all the transcripts done, and then I'll be able to upload a backlog of episodes that I'm not seem to be making much progress on recently. So I've got plenty of things to be keeping myself busy with. And then of course, as my next daughter will be born, Probably, I mean, it could be this week. It could be the start of next week, probably. So I'm going to be amazingly busy, and I suppose in some sense it's come at a good time, because it would have been rather difficult having my first daughter under 2, and a second daughter as well, a newborn in the house. It would have been difficult doing my job under those circumstances, but not impossible. I would have just carried on, managed to do it like everyone else does. But yeah, I mean, I suppose in one sense it has come at a good time, and then again in one sense it's come at a terrible time, because when you've got a wife and 2 daughters to look after, obviously you need money to do that, and that's one thing that I won't have any of pretty soon. No income coming into the house, so. Yeah, it's just like it's weird. It's both a good thing and a bad thing, and the fact that there's sort of like 2 competing things going on at the same time. So I wasn't sure when was going to be the end date of my my time at my company. So my boss had said like, oh, maybe we'll be able to extend it for an extra month. And then it looked like that wasn't happening, and then it looked like I was going to be finishing the end of this month, and then it got extended to an extra week, and then you sort of wonder, like, will it be extended to an extra week, like another week as well? It could be yet, I suppose. It's looking almost certainly like it won't be the case, but anything could happen, really. It could be extended another week. I really don't think so. Or I could, I suppose, I could start working today and then find, I don't know, someone telling me, actually, forget about last week. We don't need you to carry on working. We're okay now. So it's sort of that not having a fixed finish date, coupled up with the birth date of my next daughter, which is again, a bit uncertain. Probably more certain than the finish date of my job, though. And just sort of like not knowing like which one's going to come first, which one's going to come later, and it's all been a bit of a mess, to be perfectly honest. A bit of a stressful mess. So in one sense, I'm glad that it's coming to the end, and there's some like real like, okay, this is it now. It's finished. Now I can start planning for the future. And I am glad of that, because it feels a bit, to be perfectly honest, like I've been messed around at the very end, not being given like any clear dates for when things are happening. Not obviously not with the birth of my daughter. That's perfectly fine. I'm talking about clear dates for the end of my work. But yes, the 2 things sort of being right next to each other and not knowing when they're going to happen has been a bit stressful for me and my wife. But like I say, this is going to be a very unusual week for me. There's a high possibility that my next daughter will be born, and I should be finishing my job on the Thursday. So some big changes coming along. And at the same time, we've got the cherry blossom season pretty much under full swing here in Saitama Prefecture, in Greater Tokyo. So I'm enjoying going out and seeing all of the lovely cherry blossom trees, and there are so many in this area. They're planted absolutely everywhere. So that's been really nice, and I do like spring a lot. I do like that. That sort of sense of renewal of things. You see all these plants coming to life, all these trees starting their sort of cycle all over again. And I suppose it's a bit symbolic, isn't it? We're having a new child. I've got to find a new job. So everything's sort of like blossoming into life. And I tell you another thing I've been struggling with, and that would be, I think it might be hay fever. It's very difficult to say what it is. because I don't typically get hay fever in Japan. In the UK, back in England, I'm terrible with hay fever, but I don't really get it in Japan. But this year, I've got something that's very much like hay fever. It quite possibly is hay fever, or it's just because the air quality is so bad over here. I've been looking at like the air quality index for the area I live in, and wow, like most days are very unhealthy, like trending towards like dangerous levels of unhealthy air quality. So it might not actually be anything, like pollen related. It might just be the air quality is so bad that it's just affecting my breathing and affecting, my nose, being irritated by the bad quality of the air. It might not be hay fever at all. I tell you one thing, my eyes don't itch or water, and when I have hay fever, they do. So I'm pretty sure it isn't hay fever, come to think of it. It's just the air quality is so bad, which has been a bit of a pain. Because sometimes I'm looking at the weather forecast, checking the air quality index and thinking, it doesn't recommend going out for more, you should be out for like less than an hour today. And that sometimes has an effect on what you want to do, going for walks or on the weekends going out. It makes me think, I shouldn't really be going out. Which is weird, isn't it? You're supposed to go out to get exercise and then you can't go out because the air's unhealthy, and it's like, what do you do? Suppose you can exercise indoors, but I do like going outside as much as possible. And of course, the hay fever is making it a bit of a pain trying to record podcast episodes because my voice sounds a bit weird, and I have to try and wait till a time when it's good enough to be able to record. So there we go. There's an update of things for you, and hopefully you can understand the weird position that I'm in with all these different things sort of due to happen soon. Like I say, it's a stressful time, but we'll get through it, and let's see what's waiting for us on the other side. Hopefully, good news. Okay, until next time, thanks for listening, and bye-bye.